Hello everyone and welcome to our channel Biodiversity and Conservation by Ambika Prasad Research Foundation. So, today we will topic on the orchid diversity and its services presented by Sugemini Marandi. So, as we all know that orchids play a significant role in many reasons, including ornamental value and their role in ecosystem and their for their medicinal properties. Like for their ornamental values, like it is used for top cut flower, in industrial purposes and for their beauty, for their fragrance and long waist longevity. So for that it has been capable of used for as in hybridization, which is led for the development of many new varieties of it. So it also, so these are the ornamental values of it. Then for the ecosystem health, so it indicates as a healthy forest. So if the forest has the orchid in it, then it totally implies that it just as a healthy forest. So as they interact with other organisms in the ecosystem, it is beneficial for the many faunal species and such as mycorrhiza also for germination and pollinators for propagation. So for this it also plays a role in ecosystem health, and for their medicinal properties is also in many centuries it is used for traditional medicine to treat various ailments such as orchid shown like antimicrobial. Some is used for wound healing and some is used for gastric problem, or you can say stomach problem. So these are some of the uses in medicinal aspects. Then comes to their it's sometimes symbolism in cultures around the world for millions of years, as it representing different kind of cultures. Like in ancient Greece it is like orchids symbolize for the fertility, and in sometimes in cultural aspect, as you can see in Bihu, the orchid Rhynchostylus retusa as in foxtail orchid is used for in their cultural aspects. So in India about 1484 species of orchids are found. So orchids can be easily distinguished by its bilaterally symmetrical of flowers, like zygomorphic. As you can see, you can if split it in one half, then you can see it just like a mirror image of it. And it has a highly modified petals. Here you can say labellum, or you can say few stamen or carpel or gynostegium, or tiny seeds, as in multiple tiny seeds are there. So these are some of the orchid morphology, like how it is distinguished and how you can identify it. Then these are there. Orchids are, they grow as per two types. You can say monopodial or sympodial. Monopodial orchids that grow in a single stem, and sympodial orchids have bulb like stem called pseudobulb. So pseudobulb is there. So now we will move to our next slide. Then comes to our orchid flower anatomy, that how it's makes significant different from other flowering plant, or you can say other flowering anatomy. So as you can see over here, as I have told, is bilaterally symmetrical. As you can see, the upper one is dorsal sepal and the lateral one is lateral sepals. So you can see dorsal 1 and lateral 2 are there. Then normal petals are 2. Then comes the lip, or you can say labellum, and then at the upper end is the column, and then the pollinia. So pollinia is always pollinated by some of the pollinators like bees, like butterflies, like sometimes other dragonflies. So there are many kinds of insects are there that they pollinate it. Some birds are also pollinated. So these are some of the you can say anatomy of the orchid flower. Then move to our next one. So as we know that orchid diversity has a very complex life history it has, and the floral structure of orchids has a various ornamentations and adaptation to invite pollinators there, and their association with mycorrhiza for seed germination, and their microclimate and specific habitat requirement has attached the many scientific community to it, to study on it and how it makes it different, as in which altitude and which habitat it influences. Then comes to our here epiphytic orchid. So let's get started. So epiphytic orchid is mainly, as you will only see at the trunk, in the tree trunk you will see. So basically epiphytic means at the ground or upper level. So there are two types you can see, like epiphytic and terrestrial. So now we will move to our epiphytic orchid. I have presented here some of the epiphytic orchid, not all epiphytic orchid over here. So first we will know about on our very epiphytic orchid is Vanda tessellata. So Vanda tessellata, as you can see over here, the leaf variation, like how the leaf structure is there, and I can only say this, that it has a very different kind of color variation of the flower. So sometimes, as you can see over here, like darkish, or you can say medium type brown, then sometimes it is maroon, dark maroon, or you can say sometimes it is purely yellow. So this kind of changes you will see. So this does not mean it is variant of Vanda testata. No, it some of it has a very it shows just like that, it has a color variation of it. So don't get confused as a new plant, or you can say new species of it. So basically that is Vanda testata. So then move to our next one. So as you can see over here, the different in flower color, as you can see here, darkish, you can say brown it was going on, and the before on that it is some kinds of yellowish, or you can say like that. So here you can see the leaves is totally similar. What makes this different is the color, flower color. Then comes to our Vanda testacea. So Vanda testacea, you can see here, it has a very small size, leaves are there, and you can say flowers also purely yellow and small in size, and the flowering and fruiting period is from June to July. So it is also an epiphytic orchid. So you can see how it's attached to its tree trunk on it. So you can see here small kinds of leaves are there. So these are Vanda testacea. Then move to our next one. Then comes to our another epiphytic orchid, that is Lucia jalanica. So Lucia jalanica, as you can see, it is a small kind of flower is there, and is at the next as the next slide I will show you at how it looks exactly. Leaves is very much different, like cylindrically it is there, and it is very much different from other species. So you can see here the flower is protruding at the bottom of it, and you can see the flower is small in size, but the Lucia jalanica and Lucia trichorhiza, they look both exactly same. Apart from it, the what makes it different is that the color in lip. So here you can see Jalanica, how it looks, and you can also go through it like trichohyza, like how it looks. So don't get confused by it, like Jalanica or trichohyza. So please go through that, so you will don't get confused over Lucia jalanica and Lucia trichoryza. So mainly its flowering and fruiting period is from March to August. Then here you can see what was I was talking about, the how the flower structure, where it is attached, and how the leaves are there. You can see the whole plant of it. Then move to next one. Then comes to our Cymbidium aloifolium. Cymbidium aloifolium is mainly you will see at the stream, or you can say at the perennial stream or near the water bodies areas. So this is one kind of indicator, you can say, that if you see this particular Cymbidium aloifolium orchid at the epiphytic as the tree trunk, so you can signify it, or you can indicate it indicates that the water body must be near by it. And the flowering and fruiting period is from April to July. So as you can see clearly through it, like it looks just like a pendulum. You can see the flower over here, like the lip variation and the color modification of it. So this is Cymbidium aloifolium. Another Cymbidium is that Cymbidium bicolor. So don't get confused over it, because it different variation is there. So Cymbidium bicolor is totally maroon in color, but in here Cymbidium aloifolium, as you can see, it's not fully maroon, only the lip part is maroon in color, and you can see the strip over here or the line over here, which makes it different from that Cymbidium bicolor. Here you can see what was I was talking about, like how it looks like a bunch of big leaves are there. So these are the Cymbidium aloifolium, and Cymbidium bicolor is also looks just like, or you can say leaves are totally like you can say same is that. So it is very much difficult by the leaves, but you can only distinguish it by their flower. So here you can see next one. Here I was talking about Cymbidium bicolor. So the flowering and fruiting is from February to April. Here you can see how the color and the flower anatomy is different from Cymbidium aloifolium. So don't get confused by these two Cymbidium species. So from the flower you can identify it. Then move to our next one. Dendrobium anceps. So Dendrobium anceps is also found widely in India, and the flowering and fruiting from November to April. As you can see where the like inflorescence part is protruding over here. Here you can see the whole structure of the Dendrobium anceps, like how it looks, and how it is hanging through it, you can see over here. So this is the Dendrobium anceps. Then comes the Plantenthera insectivora. So Plantenthera insectivora, its flowering period is from August to October, and you can see it has a very small size it is, and pink in color, just like it looks like a insectivora. It looks like a insect, so that's why maybe it is like name given as an insectivora. Then I will show you at the like whole plant of this Plantenthera insectivora, like how it looks. Here I was talking about, like you can see a small kind of like leaves are there, and you can distinguish it with other plant orchid species. So this one is the Plantenthera insectivora as a whole plant. Then comes to our bulbophyllum crucipes. So there is sometimes a debate about it, like bulbophyllum crucipes or bulbophyllum cranium. So it looks just exactly same from distance. Okay, from distance, but if you will look closely through it, you can get to know that the bulbophyllum crucipes is very much different from the bulbophyllum cranium. As you can see, the leaves and the color of it, sometimes the color get confused to it, but don't get confused with their leaves or part of it. You can see over here how it looks, and you can also go through it, the cranium, like how it looks and how it's much more difference, because both have a pseudo bulb on it. So pseudo bulb and leaves, you don't like easily characterize it, but by flower you can easily identify it. So the flower and fruiting period is from September to October. Then here you can see the bulb part. So here you can see the bulb, and you can see pseudo bulb, and it is a sympodal type of growth. And sometimes you can see that in forest areas, as per the tribal claims, or you can say tribal communities, they at the time of, you can say, gastric problem or any stomach problem related is there, they totally consume the pseudobulb part. So it has a very stretchy kind of structure, or you can say stretchy kind of taste is there. So if you will consume it, totally heal you from the stomach problem. So not all bulbophyllum species have that kind of like significance of it, but some bulbophyllum species do some do heal stomach problems. So bulbophyllum crassipes is also one of them. Then move to our next one. Foliodata imbricata. So Foliodata imbricata is an you can say as a common name as a jewel orchid. So why do have that such kind of name? So as you can totally see, if you will go through the forest, and you will see like white pendulum like inflorescence is hanging at the tree trunk. So from that it named as a jewel orchid. So the flowering and fruiting period is from March to August. So we'll move to our next one. Here I was talking about like how you can distinguish it from bulbophyllum species, like it is foliodata is dark in color, dark green in color, and the leaves you can see is very much different from bulbophyllum species. So don't get confused by the both of looks, like these are also pseudobulbs, that are also pseudobulbs. No, it has a dark in color, and that one is a lightish green in color. Then comes to our Acampa ocraceae. So Acampa ocraceae is also an epiphytic orchid, but Acampa pramosa is be seen by everyone. So Acampa pramosa, as you can see, it shows bunch kind of flower, it will cluster will be there, but as in Acampa ocraceae is very much different from Acampa pramosa. As you can see, Acampa ocraceae also has a small in size, and the flowering and fruiting period is from September to December. So here you can see the leaves part. So don't get confused with the Vanda species, because Vanda species, the leaves has a very much structural differences there, and so don't get confused. But if you want the surety, it's best to get the flowering period, like when the flowering period will be occurs, so from that you can distinguish it. So as I was talking about epiphytic orchid and terrestrial orchid, so now we will move to our ground level. Like this one is the ground orchid is there. So let's get started. Then Crepidium mackinoni. So Crepidium mackinoni as you can see over here, like the flowering and fruiting period is from July to September, and like many faunal species are there which consume the tuber part but not crepidium one, but some tuber is consumed by them. So these are one epiphytic terrestrial orchid. Then you can see over here like the leaves is attached to the totally ground level, and you can see over here. Then comes to our Habenaria reniformis. As you can see, there are varied kind of Habenaria species is there, but what makes it different from one another is the flower pattern, or you can say the inflorescence part. So here the flowering and fruiting is period from August to September. So here you can see the whole plant, like how it looks. So here you can see the leaves is also attached to the ground, but what makes it different from other ground orchid species is that it has a velvety, or you can say small tiny hair structures are there. So what makes it smooth, or you can say a little bit of roughly is there. So this is one for the Habenaria reniformis. Then move to our next one. Fias tankervilli. Fias tankervilli is also a terrestrial orchid, and the flowering and fruiting period is from April to August. So here you can see the leaves is not attached to the ground, it is totally above the ground. Then comes to our Peristylus laui. So Peristylus laui, as I can tell that in some part of India, it is as per the tribal claims, it is used for the vegetable purposes, like the leaves is eaten, or you can say the tuber part is eaten. So the flowering and fruiting period is from July to August. So here you can see the whole plant, like how it looks. The leaves are also not attached to it, it's above the ground level, and it also makes a cluster type of structure, so you can identify this Peristylus laui. Then comes to our Ludicea discolor. You can see over here the flower anatomy of it, and the inflorescence part, and the flowering and fruiting period is at the springtime. Then comes here, you can see the whole plant and the leaves especially, like it is also called as a jewel orchid due to the like flower and also the leaves variation of it. Then comes to our Peristylus constrictus. So it is also an terrestrial orchid, and the flowering and fruiting period is from July to August. As you can see over here, as personally I can see this, that it also has a very sweet kind of fragrance is that. So it is also very much like attracts many kind of pollinators due to it has a very like sweet fragrance of it. Then comes to our next one, like here you can see the whole plant and the leaves part, like how it looks. Then comes to our ecological services. So as we all know that orchids play a role in ecological services, like some faunal species consumed it, and for their mycorrhizal they use for seed germination, mycorrhizal fungi, and many more things are there that is related to ecological aspects. Then here you can see the squirrel. You can see over here the squirrel consuming the velamen, or you can say the root part. At the time of the summertime they totally consumed it because it has a water content of it, which makes them hydrated from it. And here you can see the moth is over here. So moth pollinate specific kind of orchid species. So many kind of pollinators are there, like moths, butterfly, birds is also there, so bees also. So these are some kind of pollinators are there which also play a significant role in ecological services. Then comes to our here food value and market value. So it also holds a significant role in food value, like as we all popularly know about vanilla. So vanilla is an orchid species. So it is used for many things, for cosmetic purposes, for food purposes, for scent, or many more things are there on it. So many orchids are there which is used as for the like food purposes, like for the decorative purposes or for the tea or many more, and the market value is also there. But they personally send the hybrid one, like hybrid of dendrobium, like dendrobium sonia and phalaenopsis. So these are some of the orchid species that play significant role in market value. So thank you for watching. Hope you will like this video and keep subscribing to our channel. Thank you everyone.